Hello everybody and welcome back. We are in the middle of the year now and it is round 5 of the Lotus Challenge 2024 season Class L of course, and we are at Red Star Raceway.
About 10 minutes before qualifying, and the driver of this car, my teammate, hasn't arrived yet.
Where is he currently?
AstonLastminute.com is still on the highway on his way here.
And with that, as the drivers prepare for qualifying, it is of course absolutely freezing cold out in Delmas on a at least sunny morning, but all these drivers looking forward to qualifying. Of course, we'll have to see how everybody goes, how everybody manages to tackle a track that will no doubt be quite slippery. And as we cross the line at the end of qualifying, this is how everybody stacks up for race 1.
Yeah, I think we were pretty lucky this morning. Got a bit of a tow on the last lap and managed to get it onto pole, so pretty happy. It's pretty hot out there. I've just been out in the Datsun and it's hot. We're going to feel it.
Yeah, qualifying not the best for me today. Yesterday I was here for practice and I was doing times that I was fairly comfortable with, fairly happy with. And unfortunately this morning I just couldn't quite hook it up. We of course only had 10 minutes, so it was quite a quick qualifying. So you really had to get on it early, and cold temperatures, getting tires up to getting up to heat, and then just getting on it. I found it's quite difficult. So sitting third on the grid, but I know I've got more time in me out on the track. So hopefully race 1 will go alright. Alright, so as we head out towards the first race of this round, of course 2 races each round, let's have a look at how we're stacking up for qualifying. We've got Sean Hepburn on pole, followed by Davide Favo, Nick Hodgson in 3rd, Andy Fulton 4th, Andre Duplessis 5th, Paul Volmer 6th, Aston Nesbitt 7th, John McCoy 8th, Barry Dunford 9th, and Tim Venn in 10th. So everybody lining up on the grid, looking for those lights, ready to go. Track, of course, definitely heating up as the sun has risen, and we're off. That's it. Lights out, away we go. B-Class getting away extremely well. L as well. Look at everybody squeezing each other tightly, trying to make sure they get a nice tight, narrow line for turn 1. Is that going to work? We see Nick Hodgson going around the outside of turn 1 as Andy Fulton gets very squirrely on cold tires. Looks like Nick has managed to make up that place though and slots into 2nd with Sean Hepburn in 1st position. You can see Andre Duplessis is already pressuring Andy Fulton up the inside now of turn 3. Is he going to make that stick? Of course he's taken the narrower line, but Andy's going to get a much better drive and have the narrow line going into turn 4. Oh, looks like Andy has made that work for himself. Andre getting quite squirrely again. Cold tires, remember this is lap 1, and everybody trying to make the best of the situation. Sean Hepburn in 1st position, looking to get a tow from that B-Class ahead of him. Looks to be Clive Wilmot, as we see a lot of smoke and lockup and all sorts as we go into this left-hander side by side. Davide and Andre all over each other. Andy, I should say, and Andre is the one looking to try and make a position up around the outside of Andy Fulton. Andre Duplessis now all over the back of Davide Favo. Is he going to make that work? Oh my goodness, that's Aston Nesbitt coming back onto the track squirrely as all you can imagine. That is not going to be good for his suspension whatsoever. But Andre Duplessis meanwhile getting past Davide Favo. The power of the slipstream here at Red Star is quite something to behold with that really long straight. We can see Nick Hodgson and Sean Hepburn are pulling away from the pack. You can see in Nick's rear view mirror there that there is a bit of a gap forming. Nick getting a good run on Sean here. Will he be able to make it stick? We'll have to come back to that a little bit later as Andy Fulton gets quite wide coming onto the back straight, and Andre Duplessis, you can see in the mirror here, is all over the back of Andy, pulling to the inside. Andy having a glance over, not much he can do about that one, and Andre just absolutely sails past. Andy will have to try and get a better run through this tight right-hander, and a little bit of slipstream coming up. He might be able to challenge Andre into turn 1 as we get to the end of the lap. going through once again that long sweep onto the back straight. You can see Andy is now once again all over the back of Andre, pulls to the inside. Wow, squeezing hard, no quarter given. Oh, look at that little finger out the cockpit. I see what you did there, sir, but I'm coming for this position. And last of the late breakers into this right-hander, down into second. Andy taking a nice narrow tight line. Andre trying to get the cutback. Will it work? You definitely get a bit of a slipstream as you go onto the start-finish straight. Oh, Andre pulling out as late as he possibly can into fourth gear, looking to try and take Andy Fulton up the inside of turn one. Will he make it stick? Looks like he's going to just about have that move done. Andre back into third position. And as we see Sean Hepburn also through turn one, struggling a little bit with the B back marker. I think that's Clive Wilmot. Is he going to make a move here? Wow, that is brave. That is ballsy from Sean Hepburn. Oh my goodness, how did they not touch there? That was absolutely incredible racing and very, very brave. We see the onboard here from Nick Hodgson, looking to see exactly what it looked like from behind. I cannot believe those two didn't touch, but now Nick is trying to work his way through Clive to get to Sean, but look at how that B-Class just pulls away. We can see on the back straight now, fast forwarding through the lap, that Clive just absolutely flies past Sean, and now Nick is getting a great double slipstream here as he goes all the way down this long straight, braking very, very late. My goodness, that really is pushing the braking zone to the absolute limit, and Nick trying to get a bit of a slipstream coming out here, but Sean's going to get the same thing, and he just flies away. Looks like Nick maybe missed a gear a little bit there, and Sean now trying to defend against Nick, going around the outside of turn 2. Nick getting a cutback and looking to get a better exit out of turn 3 on the power early. You can see closes up to the back of Sean and possibly trying to make a move up the inside. Jinx back to the outside to get a better run. Tries an outside move. That's interesting. Not really seeing that before. Don't think that will work. And we can see that it hasn't. Once again, back with the battle for third place with Andre and Andy. And this battle turning into a bit of a titanic duel. Neither driver willing to give up that podium position. Andy just has to back out of it right at the end there, around the outside, not quite working. We've got Jean de Toy all over the back of one of the Hot Wheels boys. That's L13, looks to be Aston. Up the inside, we've got a B-Class coming through the pack as well. Jean just backing out of it a little bit into turn 1. Aston going around the outside, making that line work quite nicely for him. Now back again with Andre and Andy, and once more we see these two battling down that long back straight. Andre pumping his fist, trying to get some more power out of his Rocam engine. I don't think that's the way it works though, Andre. And down into second gear, very tight, very squirrely. These guys absolutely pushing their brakes to the limit. No quarter given nor asked. And once again, now we've got Jean all over the back of Aston again, in the slipstream really nicely. Look like you got a front left fender all wobbly there, Jean, but you should still be able to get an inside line. We've seen with Andre and Aston that there's not a Andre and Andy, I should say, not a guaranteed move. Will Jean be able to make it stick? Looks like he did. Lovely move from Jean de Toy, but now I imagine Aston is going to be coming back at Jean through turn 1. Takes that narrow line. Jean looking for the cutback. Will he get the inside line for turn 2? Doesn't look like he gets quite the drive out of turn 1 that he was hoping for. And Sean Hepburn, you can see up ahead, whoa, a B-Class absolutely flying off into the kitty litter there. That would have been disconcerting, but we are once more looking at Andre and Andy. These guys just do not know when this battle is over, and again it looks like we've got a recovering B-Class in amongst the mix, and that is going to potentially cause some havoc. It looks like Andy managed to navigate it quite well, and Andre taking the racing line, and the B-Class I'm sure will slide up the inside of turn 1. Wow, Nick getting very squirrely on the exit of the last corner here, trying absolutely everything he possibly can do to take Sean Hepburn, but as you can see, Sean absolutely delighted with a win there as he sees the checkered flag. The race isn't over yet though. Andre and Andy still absolutely not willing to give this up. Last place on the podium, third position, and it looks like Andre Duplessis is just about going to come home in third place, with Andy hard fought 4th place. Jean de Toy, however, still looking to take on Aston Nesbitt, really making the best of this slipstream. Going up the inside of turn 1, Aston giving some space. Fantastic racing from these guys across the line. We have Sean Hepburn taking first position. Nick Hodgson setting a new class lap record of a 2 minutes 12.2 in second position. Andre Duplessis in third, Andy in fourth, Paul fifth, Davide sixth, Jean 7th and Aston 8th.
Yeah, the start wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Got a bit of wheel spin. Davide nearly got me off the line. And then I got him into turn 1 and yeah, kind of kept it there. The Class B cars helped a little bit down the straights. But then also in the corners they were a bit slow. So it was a backwards, forwards. But managed to keep ahead of Nick and pull the end. Last lap just took it easy, slowed down and crossed the line first. So yeah, pretty chuffed with that. Nice.
It was a little harder than I thought. Started off really badly. Car had to just come to myself and the car and everything, but yeah, I ended up in 6th at one spot, or 7th actually in one spot, and I don't even know where I finished. I think I finished 6th.
Well, at least you finished.
Yeah, I finished. It was good. Thank you.
How was that race?
I too, you know, it's bad when you have to wipe your own visor from your own dust. It's not from the oak in front of you who put dust. It's your own dust you have to wipe the visor. I even had to open the visor down the straight and you'll have the inside, boss. Yes, it was excellent.
Fight for that 3rd place. You would have thought it's for pole.
Absolutely eventful race. Yeah, no, we got off the starting blocks and caught up a little bit of traffic on turn 1 and turn 2. But from there on, I looked to my left and I saw this car that I recognized. It says L25, and I thought I've got my hands full. And from there on, it was door handle and mirror racing.
Yeah, the first lap was a bit dirty. He had a tiny bit of a wide and I followed him. And I was a bit worried about the car. But then on lap 2 he sort of settled and I saw him being a little bit slow into the back straight and I've got it. And I managed, was it 2 or 3? Like
2 or 3 I think you managed to come past me.
Got past him and then I'm a difficult bugger to get past. So I thought like, okay, I'll try my skills. And I started getting some understeer. And he started making his corners proper. So on the straights he would be like a tiny bit back and he would like, and I'm super defensive. And the one, I went defensive and you were already stuck in there and I thought, oh, bugger.
Yeah.
So I went back.
I think you probably only saw me
I saw you a little late.
yeah.
But well, I thought you went on that side, I couldn't see you. But then I saw you.
Yeah.
So I went back. And yeah, just like on the 4 straights, he got better runs than me. And I have to go super defensive. And a bunch of times we were on the brakes equal, through the corners equal, and I just got a slightly better run.
Yeah, this race definitely kept us honest. So I actually believe, Andre, we've got a lap record. Yeah,
Definitely.
That's fantastic.
13.0 was the previous one.
Alright, as we take a well-deserved break between the races, not too many repairs to be done from these cars, so what are we going to do? It's Class L, we're going to braai, of course. Some great borie rolls for everybody to have at lunchtime, everybody having a relax, trying to calm down between the races, but soon enough we will be going again. Race 2 is up much later in the day, of course, and we've got Nick Hodgson on pole, Sean Hepburn in second position. We'll have to see how this one plays out. As I said, much later in the day, you can see how low the sun is, and we are off racing. Lights out very quickly. You can see Nick coming across, but Sean's already there. We're going to go 3 wide. Of course we are. This is Class L, 3 wide into turn 1. Nick has to back out of it. Doesn't want to have an incident so early, and we get Andy now going around the outside. We saw Nick making that move work extremely well, and it looks to be paying off for Andy. Oh, we have a spinner. We have a spinner. Andy has to go off, and so does Davide. Both drivers having to take to the grass to try and avoid. It looks like Andy is now right at the back of the pack. Davide as well. That really is unfortunate. We can see Andy's view here. Tries to go around the outside, and he's got absolutely nowhere to go. Thinks he's got it under control, and unfortunately just spins it at the end, but luckily no one harmed in the making of that incident. Jean de Toy now, his view of what happened, just sees everybody going off and makes that narrow line work. we now have racing resumed once again. Nick Hodgson trying to take on Andre Duplessis. You can see Clive Wilmot in the B-Class just ahead, and ahead of him, Sean Hepburn in first. So Sean finding himself in first position once more. Nick taking that narrow line, and it's not working to get that position, unfortunately. So Andre just absolutely flies by. We got Paul Vollmer having a fantastic race so far. Lots of lockups. What's going on there? Sean running wide, Clive running wide, Andre making a move, taking that position up into first. Nick looking to challenge for second. Is he going to go around the outside here? He's going to try it. He's going to try around the outside of this little twisty section. It somehow has paid off. We haven't seen that before, and this is now a replay of what happened from Nick's point of view. You can see him squeezing up the inside here of Sean. I'm here, buddy, I'm here, give me space. This is Class L, we give each other space, and Nick trying to go around the outside. It doesn't quite happen on this occasion, and slots in behind. So we got Sean Hepburn ahead. Once again on board with Sean. You can see Clive. Whoa, this is exactly what put Sean back in the pack of L. So that's what allows Andre to just squeak ahead. Remember, of course, Sean had pulled a little bit of a gap out there, and that's what brought us all back together. You can see Paul Vollmer in the background there with that bright pink car. And now we've got Andre first, Nick second, Sean third, Paul fourth, and a fantastic battle already. We haven't even finished the first lap. Nick Hodgson now absolutely flying up behind Andre, trying to use that slipstream, and we've seen Andre in the past being able to defend that, so we'll have to see how that goes. But it does look like Nick is going to make that move stick this time around. However, through turn one, Nick is absolutely not a fan of that move. The B-Class recovering from that first lap incident. You can see diving up the inside of Nick, getting all kind of squirrely and pushing him well wide, and that has thrown Nick all the way back to third position. We're now on board with Andy Fulton, trying to work his way back through the pack, and makes it past Tim, and that has brought him up into another position. He's going to have a very difficult race from here, but if I know one thing about Andy, it's that he is absolutely not going to give up. Continuing on board with Andy Fulton, now looking to attack Barry Dunford. Barry having a little bit of a troubled race, just not being able to find the usual pace we've been expected from him. And Andy dives up the inside, going to have that position. Back on board with Nick Hodgson, looking to overtake Andre Duplessis on an absolute flyer is Nick on this particular lap, squeezing Andre to the inside on purpose, and then flicking to the outside to give him the best run into the last corner that he possibly can. Wow, those two come close. Look how close that was. But it looks like Nick has got the position. Hard racing between these two. Remember, top of the championship, Nick and Andre at the moment, and both of them not willing to give any points away whatsoever. Through turn one, Andre looking to go round the outside this time. We have seen this move work before. Is it going to work this time? Andre is ahead, but Nick is still in contention a little bit. And Andre just sneaks ahead of Nick. That outside line does seem to be working for some drivers through turn one. We can see Paul Vollmer in the background. Paul absolutely not willing to let those two get away, and will pick up any pieces if there is any kind of crumbs to be had. Jean de Toy now all over the back of Aston, and Aston looking to defend. Jean in the slipstream. Turn one, we've seen outside work. Is inside gonna work? Jean throwing it up the inside, keeping it nice and tight. Back to our Andre-Nick battle. We saw an Andre-Andy battle in race one. Andre has been in the wars this Red Star Raceway round for sure. Nick going around the outside, using that slipstream incredibly well to his advantage. He's going to have to go around the outside of this last turn though. Is it going to work? Squeezes. Everybody squeezing as hard as they possibly can. Nick had to back out a little bit in that instance, and Andre once again keeps that position. We now see Andy Fulton making his way through on Jean de Toy. That is no mean feat, let me tell you. Jean, renowned for having the widest car on track, an absolute past master at defensive driving, but Andy has managed to find his way through. Speaking of, looks like Aston Nesbitt getting through as well, going up the inside. Oh, and Davide Favo, two drivers saying we'll have a little piece of that action, not giving Jean any leeway whatsoever. Back up at the front now, we've got Sean Hepburn using the slipstream of that B-Class. You can see just how low the sun is in the sky, making it really, really difficult for these guys to pick their braking points. And you can see Sean going very, very wide, bouncing off the track and back on. Goodness, he'll have to check the sump of his car at the end of this race, that's for sure. Nick Hodgson once again trying it down the back straight. Andre Duplessis though keeping his foot in it. We've got Nick around the outside, no, having to back out once again, pulling back into the slipstream, and that's how we end. Sean Hepburn taking the win, Andre Duplessis in second, and Nick Hodgson in third.
Yeah, race 2 was incredibly difficult, driving into the sun. You can't see much, you can't see the apexes, you can't pick a braking point, and you just turn in. But luckily I made a gap on the guys and pulled away. But yeah, it was eventful, it was so eventful. But yeah, it's 2 for the day, so I'm quite happy with it. Good stuff.
It was a tough one with the sun going down now, and then unfortunately that Class B car spinning. But yeah, like Lisa says, my comebacks are better than my setbacks. So at least, yeah, I'm happy.
He's like, damn it, Andre, and I'm like, defensive line, but you can't pass that side.
Side by side through every corner.
Yeah.
And I'm literally sitting behind it going, if one of them goes off, I'm going through that gap.
We went side by side through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. It was ridiculous.
At some points, we're like, I'm seeing him a bit locking up or something. This thing this, and I'm doing this, and like, Nick, don't turn yet. Like, we're good. Just hold on a second. Okay, we go.
I thought you were going to touch a few times.
I thought we were going to touch a few times.
Yeah. It was like, guys, hello, have you noticed? You're about to touch. Yeah. You touch, I'm going to hit both of you.
Yeah. No, we were like, gunning.
It was like
It was a proper.
But then under yellow, no comment.
And that's it. That's what we love to see. Some extremely happy drivers at the end of this fantastic round at Red Star. What an amazing day's worth of racing. You can see just how happy everybody was.
It was okay until it started getting very slippery, going down the short straight. And I thought somebody was dropping oil or water or something, but it seems like it was me spinning in my own water. So the car is a bit hot now. So I don't know if it was just because I was doing a lot of second gear stints between corners and so on. But it was a good fight between myself, Ashton, and David.
Yeah, okay, so what happened? I had a great race. I'm sure we did some good times. I was in the front pack, so that was nice for a change, tagging along nicely. And then Davide was behind me on the last lap. I was defending, I went to the inside, down the back straight, and as I hit the brakes, the A-arm gave in. You know, I have replaced the one on the other side, so maybe it was time. But yeah, just one of those things, I guess. You know, that's
racing.
all part of a day's
And
race.
these are overall results. We've got Sean Hepburn in first, Nick Hodgson in second, Andre Duplessis in third. That is a phenomenal result from these drivers, absolutely fighting tooth and nail for their positions today. So congratulations to all, and we will see you again very soon. This is how the championship steps up at the moment. Andre Duplessis in first, with Nick Hodgson second and Davide Favo in third position. Next time out, we will be back again in August at Zwartkops for the 6th round of the Lotus Challenge 2024 Championship. This is Class L signing out.